So today we're going to be taking a look at how a turbo works. So a turbo is basically an air compressor. There's also other forms of air compressors in many of the automobiles, such as a supercharger, but in this case we're going to be taking a look at how a turbo works. A turbo can be used in many of the automobiles, such as, for example, cars, planes, etc. For example, we'll take a look at planes. So normally at sea level, let's say your plane has about 400 horsepower, but at like about 3,000 feet or about the altitude of Mount Everest, you'll have about 265 horsepower. So the horsepower reduces because the air at that altitude is way thinner. To restore the air pressure, we use a turbo or a supercharger. So in this case, we're using a turbo. So the way a turbo works is it uses the exhaust air that would normally be wasted if you didn't have a turbocharged engine, would spin a turbine wheel, and the turbine wheel is connected to a shaft, and that shaft is also connected to a compressor wheel. Now, the compressor wheel will spin and it will suck all the air and it will compress it. As you compress the air gets super hot because there's so much friction going on between those molecules. So as the air gets hotter, you want to have something that cools down the air. So an inlet shoots it out and it gives it to an intercooler. That intercooler has cooling fins and it will cool down the air. So this would create a cooler air that can be entered into the engine. Now, since this is happening, the engine can produce a higher horsepower. So say the driver lifts off the throttle, or he doesn't give any throttle inputs. You don't want the air to be rushing back into the turbo. So what engineers added is a blow-off valve that's on the far right side. This blow-off valve will basically let off all the air pressure that's inside the mechanism, so it doesn't rush back into the turbo wheel. So that's how a turbo works in a basic form. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.